So we just saw that video, and that was just my inspiration from the Grammys last night. We're going to do a quick little recap. We're talking trash in the studio today. So as you can see, my hair is in honor of J-Lo, who decided she wasn't going through hair and makeup yesterday, so she just did it herself, okay? Because this is her hair look like. But it was cool. And also, y'all see this, hold on, let me move the mic. Yeah, this is my Atlanta Hawks jersey. Jacket. So we're going to be talking about, I'm going All-Star this weekend. Yay! Everybody know I love basketball, so this is an honor. All-Star weekend this weekend coming up. We're going to be talking about some things. I want y'all to come meet me out there, meet me in All-Star this weekend. So we were talking about some of the things that we saw in the Grammys last night. Now I don't want to talk about these women at all. Even though somebody, I asked a question in the chat room, what was one of the best guys, or the cutest guys that we saw last night? And somebody said Kelly Rowland. Kelly is not a guy. Kelly is not a guy. And also somebody said Katy Perry. Okay, we'll give it, let's let him go. But I want to talk about the men. I think the men showed up last night. I'm so happy and so proud. And in honor of our show last week where we were given the essentials of a well-dressed man, I think somebody heard me. CBS sent out a advisory on the dress code. And so, some people pushed the envelope last night. We're not even going to acknowledge them because I think they want to be seen. Some people just want to be seen. But the fellas, they showed up last night, all except Dream. I'm going to start with Dream. Dream, you making it real bad for them folks from Atlanta, okay?
His fat ass couldn't find nothing to wear.
And I know that there are some stylists. Shout out to my homeboy Middleman, who will put you together in some stuff. You know what I'm saying? He do a little bit of, eccentric stuff too. But, you can find somebody that is capable and even willing to dress you. Because that was a hot mess. And anybody that was on with me last night when I was tweeting and on my Facebook page about this, he looked a hot mess. And I didn't like it. And women, nobody liked it. Even Jay-Z said he didn't like it. He wanted to give a shout out to the swap meet for your hair last night. I mean, really? Are you a grown man or what? I just don't even understand. Like, what? Maybe this was maybe his outfit. Now it makes sense. Boys in the Hood hat. The explicit lyric, I guess it was a Scully that he had on and then a hat on top of it. Maybe this was in honor of Trinidad James.
Maybe. It was because of all the weed he had smoked before the award show. He forgot to get dressed.
Maybe he just got there from somewhere else and he just rolled up and was like, yo, like, I got to hurry up and get in. They shut the red carpet down because he clearly was not on the red carpet with this. Because they would have told him, we didn't write this in the dress code, but you can't come in looking like this. I mean, really. You're going to respect this venue, even though this is a Staples Center. Maybe he thought he was there for a Lakers game or something.
I think he was in competition with another Atlantan that was there that looked a hot mess too.
Who?
Neo.
Neo
usually look nice. Neo, I always applaud Neo because he always have on a nice outfit.
And a nice hat.
He always had a hat.
Oh, that hat drives me nuts, though.
Last night, Neo, the shoes.
I don't think he looked no worse than he ever does.
He had some combat boots on.
He does do
he likes jacket.
He likes to do the little
and
boots.
Some pants. Oh, my God. Neo just looked a mess last night.
Okay, somebody said Lupe Fiasco.
Oh, my God.
What's worse? What's worse than Dream? Okay, can you? Yeah, it's just him and that attitude and that hat that sometimes just disturbs me. And I just had to leave Neo alone because he going to do whatever he going to do and he don't really care.
But that's not the jacket he had on last night.
Oh, that's at the that's probably the pre-Grammy party because that's the Clive Davis party.
It was ugly to fool.
We're going to see if we can pull up Lupe Fiasco because I don't think I saw Lupe Fiasco last night. But baby, who was cute was Pharrell. Hey, Pharrell. That's my baby daddy boyfriend in my dreams. I love him.
But I had to go back to Lupe Fiasco.
Okay, go back to Lupe because I didn't see Lupe.
When I saw that picture, I thought, you know how you be going through it, you see it, and then people talk about, that's the Lupe Fiasco. I said, no, they done got this mixed up.
Was Lupe, was he nominated?
He had dreads. Yeah, oh my God. He had dreads that was hanging over his face. He looked like a 20-year-old Whoopi Goldberg. That's how bad he looked. Oh, Lord. He looked like a 20-year-old Whoopi Goldberg.
Somebody said I would not recognize. What the hello?
Yeah.
Does he have on some shoe socks? Are those shoe socks?
Baby, yeah, I don't know her.
Somebody get him. Somebody get him.
I don't know.
Somebody send my information to him. We gonna have to do an intervention. He has on some shoe socks. Please look at those shoe socks.
I say, oh, baby.
Maybe he having one of those Martin Lawrence moments. Remember Martin Lawrence went crazy on the show? He had half his hair braided and half of it was in an afro.
Maybe he was on his way to the set.
I won't even recognize Lupe Fiasco. No wonder I didn't see him.
Right, and then it's just like I had to catch somebody interviewing him on the red carpet.
Looked like he's smoking some incense.
For them to convince me that was really him.
Y'all lying. That's not Lupe Fiasco.
That is him. That is him.
That's impossible. What happened?
Honey.
Oh yeah, baby, to the baby.
Like they said back in the day, shit happened.
My sister just said, that is not the Lupe I love, baby. I don't know who this is. I have never seen this person in my life, and I don't understand. Like, there is something. We're going to have a show about this, and I cannot wait. And I thought we were going to do it this week, but we just had too many things that were going to be going on with All-Star, with Barner Brothers this weekend, the Grammys going on. But we are going to talk about men and their facial grooming. Because, do we have a picture of, oh, Lord, what's the boy name? Wiz Khalifa from last night. And I just said, yes, I said on my Facebook page last night that his hair and his wardrobe need to have a meeting of the minds because they were not in the same, they were not even cooperating with each other last night because I'm just like, he looked nice and I appreciate it because he weighed about 82 pounds. So he's a very thin man and that's disturbing to me. You know, I'm a thin woman, but thin men kind of make me nuts.
I gave him a pass because
his baby mama's pregnant.
He is so excited about becoming a father.
He is.
And they
but
were
does he want his son to come out or daughter, whoever, to come out looking at him like that?
They said last night that it's a son. They're having a boy.
Well, I hope that he got these tattoos all over his. I mean, really. That ain't him last night. That's at the Clive. No, that's the Clive David. That's the same jacket Neil had on. They done swapped that jackets. No, this is not the red carpet last night. Right, though.
This is from the Clive David.
He got a hat on with this almost suit because he just ain't even bothered to get him a white collar shirt. And we talked about that last week. You do need a white collar shirt, Wiz Khalifa. But here he is. And I said, Lord, his hair and that wardrobe did not have any interaction with each other. Your hairstylist and your wardrobe stylist ain't even friends.
He excited about being a father. Lord, they talking about they gonna have the baby at the house. They done hired a midwife.
And that's all right.
They got tub and everything. He said he just want to be a part.
They're very decent on the outside of the fame. But when you do all this stuff, there's no undoing these tattoos. And I just don't know, like, when this fad or when this style goes out, what are you gonna do? But
the thing is, I just hope they make it. I hope they make it. But it's just like the odds are against them because it's just like how many people have Amber been with before y'all hooked up?
Well, she really liked him though. I don't know if she liked everybody else or if it was just an opportunity with everybody else. Right. I think the previous situations were opportunistic, and this right here, I see a little bit. I don't know them, so I can't vouch for their situation. And you know, I do not promote sex or having babies outside of marriage. I am a baby mama, and I promise you, I will protest this until the day I die. Don't be having no babies
when you think
by somebody that is not the love of your life husband. Not even just your husband, but this man that you know is the man that's going to be. And
but how ironic that Amber Rose and Kanye used to be tight, and now Amber
was an opportunity.
Amber is pregnant, and Kanye has somebody else pregnant.
Because, you know, in Hollywood, everybody follows trends. Because if somebody else didn't have them tattoos all over their face, you think Wiz Khalifa would have done it. And it looked like he did have his hair twisted, like a fresh twister. So I don't know. This is just way too much for me.
Just because it was Amber.
Somebody in the chat room said, what about his missing tooth? I'm done. I think that's a gold tooth. I don't think that's a missing tooth. Yeah, I think it's a gold tooth. It's a gold tooth. I don't think it's missing, but it will make it look, it does look missing. When you look at it from a certain angle. She said if he didn't have money, I wonder if Amber would be with him. I think she really likes him.
Child, please.
They from the same set in Philly and all that old ghetto mess.
Like, who said if she didn't have money,
Amber he didn't have money?
If he didn't have money, who said that in the chat room?
Touche said that.
Touche, you right. Everybody Amber been hooked up with, they've had money. She ain't been dating no mechanics. Nobody working at Burger King. You got to have some cheese.
That's the guy. She wasn't what? Yeah, she was, and I think that she got her fame from her style. Somebody said they saw her and thought that her style was nice, and they wanted to employ her.
And I'm like, she got her fame from hanging out with Kanye. Kanye put her on the map.
Fly style. Yeah. Let me see who else. Who else was I talking about last night? My favorite. Nas. Hey, y'all. Y'all know. Oh, and Trey Songz too. We're gonna talk about Nas real quick. I love Nas, and I think that I loved him and Khalees together. And Khalees, I just want you to reconcile with him because he's a good man, and I think that it's rare that you'll find you do not want to raise that baby by yourself. I don't care what nobody say. He is, and he a nice looking brother, huh? 'Cause somebody gonna snatch him up. Y'all better get right, get tight, quick. Like, I love Nas. And I thought Nas looked nice last night. He looked just like his dad. He looked just like his father. Now, his father was a well-dressed man.
Well, I'm
yes, sir.
You,
yes, sir. Do
Nas,
it, Nas.
Now, you're going to have to go and get you a little knowledge.
He's a very educated person.
Nas, when he was on the red carpet last night, he sounded very dumb.
Well, Nas is not dumb. He's very far. If you followed him and like had any interaction with Nas, he is a extremely intellectual dude.
Well, see,
he's got a lot of
people. That's what I thought about Lil Wayne.
Oh no.
That's what I thought about.
No. There's no way. You've been deceived and bamboozled.
No, just listen at. Yeah, man.
I guess you thought the same thing about T.I. When T.I. first came out. T.I. had to acquire that level of articulating, and him and Mike Tyson. That was an acquired taste. Intellect was acquired
once
taste.
I saw the interview, I saw Lil Wayne sit down and do the interview and everything. And I was like, oh, Lil Wayne, he's educated and everything. But just,
now, what do you call educated? That means can read. Because nowadays we don't even when we qualify.
Could hold a conversation. He could hold a conversation with somebody that's educated, not just sit up there and like.
But what
all
do you
that
consider
rap talk that he
educated?
be doing, huh?
What do you consider an educated person?
A person that can hold a conversation with another person that
That should be everybody. My daughter, when she was talking, could hold a conversation.
No, but when you listen to these rappers, when you listen to them talk, and they do it sometimes when they on that stuff, when they high, and they on that syrup and all of that, they have a different language.
Oh, okay.
They speak in Ebonics and everything. But then when you sit down, he talked to Katie
Well,
Curry.
much like the boy Plies, I think he was putting on. Like, he pretended to be, like, uneducated and thugged out and all this, but really he wasn't. College-educated kid who was very articulate, but that image was the image that he portrayed.
And going back to Nas, because you say that Nas is a very educated young man, but last night on the red carpet, Nas sounded like he didn't have, like...
I think Nas just don't care for the fame. He don't care for that whole hoopla of the red carpet.
Properly?
I think that sometimes in those environments he becomes very defiant, and that defiance is like that's just a part of I think his character.
So as opposed to showing somebody that you're an educated young man,
he don't really care what they think. He doesn't really care as much about what they think about him, and I think that oftentimes he is very. That's just him. He has a defiant spirit when it comes to that whole Hollywood type. You could tell by his body language, he really wasn't even excited about being there.
But why go? Why go? Why go?
Well, because it's a part of your career. That's like me being a hairstylist and saying I don't want to go to the Bonner Brothers show. I mean, I have to go, even though I hate being there sometimes.
No, you don't have to go.
No, I do, because I have to stay abreast of what's going on. I have to stay valid. I have to stay current. I have to stay, legitimate, and I have to stay, on the scene. People have to know that you still exist.
If you're doing your audience a disservice by going, then why go if we see that you don't want to be here? Because it's just like if you going to.
But I think if his following and his fans understand that about him. Like, I know that about him. So when I saw him on the red carpet, I already knew he didn't want to be there. I already knew he hates the limelight. He hates everything, because if you watched his was it Unsung? On Nas on TV One, he really said some powerful things that were very enlightening, and how the media kind of took control of his life, and how that's what they do, and so he has a level of feeling that he don't want to participate in, and I understand that.
Well, that's the same thing that Jill Scott was dealing with when she first hit the scene.
And she did the same thing. She got spanked sometimes on the red carpet.
But the thing is, just now that you see her, and you can tell that she has done a 360, and she liked being there, and she liked doing it, and she realized that it's a part of the job. It comes with the territory.
Right. She's been groomed.
But it comes across that she genuinely likes it.
But she's been groomed for the red carpet. And I think that, and this goes back to, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but I have a friend, Marvin, Marvelous Studios, and Marvin has artist development studio. And that's some of the things that they do in artist development. When you have undeveloped artists, unfortunately, they don't have the capacity to walk a red carpet, to hold the interview and do those things. And it takes training sometimes to get them there. But I don't think that Nas is incapable of doing that. I think he don't want to. He don't really care. And he's like, I can bypass this whole red carpet. But they were like, yo, Nas, like, you got to come and stop and talk to us.
No, this the thing, Lisa, and you know as well as I know. If Nas don't like doing the red carpet thing, you don't have to get on the red carpet. Just go through the back door. You could just go through.
But at some point, somebody's going to stop him for an interview, for a sound bite, for something.
Because that's just a part of. Go behind the red carpet. Don't go on the red carpet.
But then they would say, oh, he's being elusive and we don't know why. You know, they'll start their own.
Damned if he do, damned.
Exactly. But I think he did. I think he did a good job. And you know, Nelly was hot too last night. I love Nelly. Y'all know Nelly is one. Somebody said that Nene has definitely been groomed for the red carpet, and that is the godforsaken truth, because Nene could not hold a conversation with herself.
She still can't.
She's better.
She's better. That means she's groomed for the red carpet.
I mean, you can see the work being done. You can see the work being done.
I'm waiting for him to get to the final outcome, because right now it's just a work in progress.
Lord have mercy. Let's see. Nick said in the chat room, she said, Lisa, I agree with you. There's nothing wrong with hating to go to the Bonner Brothers show each year, because you do go and you make an effort that many won't make, but call themselves experts in their field. Thank you. I appreciate that, because y'all know I'm going to be at the Bonner Brothers show. And so we have Barry Fletcher that's going to be calling in a little later. I can't wait to talk to him. So if you all don't know, Barry Fletcher is one of the extreme legends in this hair industry, and Barry Fletcher has done everybody from Halle Berry to Tina Turner to Shaka Khan's hair. Like, he's definitely that dude in the industry, and he's gonna be talking to us today.
So I hope he feel like talking about it.
Talking about who?
The hair that he does.
Oh yeah, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. He's
some people, they do stuff just because.
No, he came along in an era when it meant something for you to have that skill. What you laughing about, Sophia?
I'm messing with you.
What did he say? What did he say? I missed it. I missed the joke. What was it?
You can't read it.
Oh.
Keep it moving.
I'm gonna slap Miss Sophia. But yeah, so we're gonna talk to Barry a little later, so I can't wait. So y'all stay tuned. If y'all have any questions or thoughts about him, we're gonna be talking about some hair loss. Hey Barry, there he is. So Barry Fletcher is, and everybody knows that I am a advocate of healthy hair, and because I am, I that's my focus. And so one of the things we talk about, Exude Beauty said, love his products, his hair products. Barry Fletcher, love the products, got them from the hair show. So here's something I want to talk about this doggone hair show. Okay, so everybody knows that the Bonner Brothers show is this weekend, and it starts on Saturday and it goes until Tuesday. On Tuesday are just educational classes, but baby, the Bonner Brothers show has turned into a free fall. So one of my girlfriends actually, yeah, shout out to the swap meet for keeping the Bonner Brothers show legitimate. No, really. So we've been in talks and we've been expressing our concerns about this for a while, about, you know, what really has taken place and what's going on with the hair industry. And so looking at a lot of the red carpet looks and you know, all the things that we were talking about from the Grammys, it's interesting to me that we don't have real hairdressers in the industry anymore. You know what I'm saying? That really know how to do hair, that are qualified. Everything on this model right here is faux. Everything is there's not one stitch of hair. Not even eyebrows. I think those eyebrows, you know, and so we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about, I can't wait to talk to Barry a little later about, you know, what's going on with the industry and where we are, because everybody on the red carpet had either a weave, a wig, or something.
But who is wearing their own hair these days?
Lisa, Janelle.
Besides Lisa and Janelle.
And everybody on almost everybody on that's chatting with me today that I know. A couple of people that I know. How many people are wearing their own hair?
So who on the red carpet wearing their own hair?
That's my point. That's my point. That's my point. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the red carpet is usually the place that sets the standard. It's where people look and say, oh, I'm gonna do my hair like Katy Perry had her hair on, you know, or I'm gonna wear the dress. And like after the Grammys, they're designers that immediately go out and make those dresses. Make those dresses and make them available, affordable for everyday women to wear. And they wait on the red carpet to decide what they're gonna do. Michelle Obama. That's what they do. Everything that she puts on, everybody runs out and buys it. So there is a standard that's set on this red carpet. And so my thing and my concern is if we keep promoting this, we're going to have a world full of bald-headed women.
Oh, Lisa.
Believe me,
Now,
I've been
but the
doing this
thing
for 25
is,
years, and I'm
saying-
here to tell you that I fix messes every day.
Right.
That I'm constantly undoing the uneducated, you know what I'm saying? And I have to give a shout out to one of my clients who is now natural. Janelle knows her. Patrice. And Patrice is not natural. And I gave her a fantastic haircut, which kind of, her big chop, and she came and got it, appropriately cut for the shape of her face and for the fact, and I'm like, if you're going to go natural, do it right.
You like to cut
Don't go.
hair. Y'all just
No.
like to cut people's hair.
I can cut. Like, I'm a beast with the shears, but I'm going to give you what is necessary and what is the best thing for you and what you want. Yeah, she had to do the big chop, but I didn't cut all of her hair off
But
because
even
I
when
do
people
not
just
like
come
the
to y'all,
Florida Evans
you
look.
talking about, I'm just going to clip your ends. I'm going to clip your ends. Half of the hair be
Baby,
clipped
let me
out.
tell you something. When these girls do this big chop and they look like Florida Evans, men don't like it, okay? I don't care what you say.
My big chop, I look like Florida Evans. I got pictures.
And then what did I tell
You
you?
didn't do my big chop.
Yeah, I didn't do it because she was trying to chase me down to do her hair. But when I saw it, I was like, don't nobody like Florida Evans, okay?
But the thing I want to get at you, because you said that when these red carpets, they set the trend for, people want to go and they see such with a hair like this, then they want to get their hair like that. But it's just like, no, because, growing up, the black girls,
You're right.
they just wanted to have straight hair, so they started doing all the perms and everything. So that just became a part of their lifestyle. So they hadn't seen no red carpets before they started putting these perms in their hair.
Yeah, but back then, it was men like, and when Barry Fletcher comes on, I can't wait to talk to him, who knew how to maintain a healthy head of hair. And my father did hair, so I've always had hair. When I went through adolescence, I went through a period of time where I had like some terrible breakage. And that's something that and we'll talk about that a little later, because Barry Fletcher has a book called Why Black Women Are Losing Their Hair, and it covers every spectrum, and it is like a Bible, the hair Bible. And we'll talk about that, and we're going to make it available to people as well that are, chatting or that are interested in this. And Barry's going to be at the hair show, and he does educational classes every during the hair shows. You said what?
Got available to Amon and Serena.
Thank you, because Serena and Iman, baby, it ain't no coming back.
Serena who?
Serena Williams, you ain't seen her hairline? I mean, really, what you gonna do? Like, what do you do when you're a beautiful woman and then you have eroded every strand of hair off of your head? And somebody in the chat room said, the keratin treatment is the best thing I could have ever done to my hair. It's strong and beautiful. And I am interested to know, and Chris, so you know that I know what texture your hair is. Only because your hair is the texture that it is that an acceptable thing? Because a keratin treatment is not for everybody, and it is not the best thing. And I got somebody that want to go toe-to-toe with me about keratin versus relaxers. And we're gonna talk about that in a couple of weeks. We're gonna have a land. It's formaldehyde in it. So would you like some formaldehyde? Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about that. I can't wait.
Not on this side.
And it's something that's new. And here's my thing with this hair thing. Ain't nothing new under the sun. When we started to desire hair that looked like somebody else's, but our hair was not that way. And it's not just African American women. It's also Caucasian women who wanted to have curly hair. They put perms in, and in the 80s, everybody I knew had a perm. And we were doing perms all day, every day. And their hair was big and full, and we was like, we want ours down and flowing. So everybody kind of has a desire for something that they don't have.
But girl, you have a fight on your hair.
What about that?
Because when you finish with the hair, then you're going to have to get them out of these contacts. Then once you get them out of these contacts, then you're going to have to stop them from bleaching their skin.
You know what? But I think self-love and learning to love and everybody, and I've done some virtual consults as a result of the hair show. And I got my homeboy Mark Pugh that's logged in from Augusta. Hi, Mark. Thank you for chatting in with us today. But when it's so crazy because when I do the consults, I always find something positive to say, like, you have a beautiful smile, or your eyes are beautiful, so you need to accentuate them. That gives something to a woman who is looking at herself and finding nothing but disdain in the way that she looks. And so it's important that you, as a crafter in the beauty industry, make sure that you find something to make women feel positive about. Because otherwise, if you come in and you like, girl, your hair's messed up, and that's giant, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like you're creating a negative element in that salon space, and most women come out, feeling some kind of way about that. And I've watched it happen. I've seen it happen a million times. Not with myself, because I already know what self-esteem will do or won't do for someone. And when you beat a person down, and it happens all the time, and then like, I don't know if you remember was it last year, the little hairstylist, the celebrity hairstylist, the boy that came and shot up the hair salon. One of his rivals came one of his rivals came in and shot up the hair salon.
One of Derek J's rivals shot
came and shot up his salon because he had said something to one of his clients. He said something to one of his clients that came in, and the hair was messed up, and he was like, who did your hair? I need to call him and find out what he did to you. All that negative element is unnecessary, because look what it turned into.
And the other hairstylists
came into the salon and fired a couple of shots, and I guess he was like, well, I'm gonna let you know, like, but but
Your folks, Sophia?
That was for TV.
They did it on the show.
No, this is on the news, baby. This is on Channel 2.
It made the news.
It was. Mm-hmm.
Who's doing too much? That's why I'm watching.
Yeah. And so, we talked about the proper hair shaping for your face. And so, we talked about it. He is, honey. He was hollering on the news about that. But, they're negative elements that you create in the salon. And you don't want to do that. You want it to be a positive and uplifting place. I grew up in the hair salon, so I know what it feels like to come into a place and feel fantastic coming and even better leaving. Oh. And that's, that's a rare experience nowadays, unfortunately. And so, people look at the red carpet and they come in, or they now doing their hair at home. And what I was talking about the Bonner Brothers show, and what I wanted to say was, they will have to at some point return the professionalism that was once in the Bonner Brothers show. There was a time when you had to be a professional in order to come. Now I have homeboys that's like, yo, I'm going to the Bonner Brothers show. I'm like, you doing hair? Like, you in school? They like, nah, we just heard like it was hot. You should go and see. And I'm like, this is not like, this is a professional environment, and it should be a professional environment. Now we got Lisa Ray walking through with her entourage and security, and it's just turned into something other than it. And the education, I think, this the boy who was the shooter. This the rival hairstylist who ain't know what he was doing and messed up that girl hair. This was Corin Pleasure. Mm-hmm. Corin done showed out. Everybody mad about it. And I'm like, but I heard that Derek J, one of the two of them, ain't had no license anyway. Yeah. Ain't even supposed to be doing hair.
Oh my God! See now,
but
what had happened was
because anybody can sew in a weave.
Here when it came out,
I don't even
Derek
think you have to be
J,
licensed.
he wasn't licensed here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he did have his paperwork and showed that he had applied for the license here in Atlanta.
Was that Derek J or was that Lawrence?
This Derek J.
Oh, okay.
Derek J applied for his license here, and when they did the research and everything, it showed that he did apply for the license here. Mm-hmm. However, they were bagged up. So it's just like it wasn't on his end the reason why he wasn't doing that, because he was licensed wherever he was licensed, and then when he got involved with the show, now he's traveling doing hair. So people want him, they call him.
So he a
getting in contact
freelancer
with
now.
him.
He done tricked the game.
So it's just like different states have different rules.
I would say when you do that, do you have to be licensed in every state, Lisa?
No, you don't. And to be a freelance artist, it is a kind of a tricky situation when it comes to licensing, because it's much like football players. They have to actually have a license in each state that they play in order for them to get in order for them to pay. But Lord have mercy, I can't participate. Herb, I'm not participating with this buffoonery.
That's from the Grammy.
We are talking about real hair on real women.
We are.
Oh, okay.
I'm just, adding, just.
Oh Lord. And somebody in the chat room said, I think it was Nick again. It said they need to keep it professional. No one will take us serious in this business if we don't make them. Bonner Brothers needs to go back to the basics. It shouldn't be a free-for-all. And that's so true, because if you go to the IBS show in New York, which we do every year, you have to show a license, a professional license, or you have to show student enrollment in order to attend these events. And if you're doing it just for the show and just for the money, that's different. But don't call it a professional show. And so, we're going to stay in Bonner Brothers behind about that. Because
now, let's get realistic. Do you really think that Bonner Brothers going to turn
there's
down
nothing
the money?
left. There's nothing left for them to do.
But
because at this point, there's no hair. Do you know when I go to the Bonner Brothers this weekend, what's going to be the #1 vendor at the Bonner Brothers at trade show on the trade floor? Exactly.
The weave.
Exactly. So there is no money that's going back into this industry at all because we don't sell weave. We got girls now that are selling weave, and I have quite a few people that I know that do sell hair weave, and they the weave, whatever, and then they got the Brazilian and the Bohemian and all these other trade lines about weave. We're not the ones making money off of that, and that money is not coming back into the hair industry. So you are causing your own demise if you continue to.
But they are reaching out to the people that sell the weaves and stuff. So
no, they're not. The people that sell the weaves are reaching out to them like, yeah, we can come and we can sell $50,000 worth of weave in one weekend.
But they have to pay for a booth. They have to pay. So
yeah, Bonner Brothers charge them $20,000, $30,000 for a booth.
Right. So
let them come and do this buffoonery right here on this man.
So you think that Bonner Brothers really gonna turn down that money to go back to?
When you lose, when it's all said and done, and in the next 5 years, if you continue to do this for the next 5 years, it won't be a hair show. It'll be a hair circus.
But
you
it's
could
just
like turn it into a circus.
But from the conversation, it's just like, no, who, like we talked about originally, who is really doing the natural hair? Because I've been to the Bonner Brothers show, and they do have booths set up with the natural hair and all of that.
They do.
Know? So it's just like, but the majority of the money that's been spent on hair is not the natural hair products, and it's not.
There's not so much natural hair products as far as, I mean, you still can get people who have perms and stuff like that, just healthy hair. You can have a relaxer and still have healthy hair.
Absolutely. I've had a relaxer, and I'm going to have a relaxer till I die. Hello, bye.
I mean, so it's not necessarily, it's just so much of the fake hair. Not so much of the hair have to be natural. It's so much of, they can still do a lot of things with the colors and all that.
I think that this trend, here's what's going to happen, and this is what I know. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I was born into this industry. My grandmother and my father did hair. And what is going to happen is when all of these women are bald-headed from this weave and these misguided keratin treatments and all this other stuff, when you are bald-headed, you have nothing left, you ain't going to have no choice. Because all that's going to be left is a wig. Because you're not going to be able to put a weave on with hairline like Iman's.
But see,
there's nothing else to attach it to. Once you run out of hair, there ain't nothing else to attach it to. You can't glue it to your scalp.
But now the thing is, I would agree with you if they hadn't came out with the lace fronts.
That's what I'm saying. But the lace front,
that takes out hair too. Look at her hair.
But the lace front, you know. They just glue it around the front. They just glue it, so you don't have to have.
Yeah, but who is gonna wear a lace front for the rest of their life?
She spent $3,000 on the lace front, and she was older at the time. She was in her 60s, her late 50s. And when they shaved the front of this part of her hair,
they shaved the front of her hair.
It never grew back. She couldn't. She itched for the first 4 hours that it was in. By the time 8 hours came around, she took it out. But they had already shaved all of her hair. So now her hairline starts back here. Mm-hmm. She paid $3,000 for this lace front wig.
And she gonna have to wear that lace front until she lay in the grave with it.
No, now let me tell you what she's done. So she doesn't wear it because she can't wear it. So she started wearing scarves around her hair. Well, guess what happens when you start wearing a scarf? The hair is not going to grow back because you have it covered. So now about this much of her hair is now gone and broken off. So her hair starts back here. And now she's in her 60s. It won't grow back. And she has to wear wigs everywhere she goes. She's in the Lynch
and they're extremely detectable.
Yeah, but
it's not that.
No. Let me just say this.
Except for Beyonce, but she only wears hers for an hour or two at a time for a performance.
But see, lace fronts, they are bootleg lace fronts.
Oh, is that
we
what
all
it is?
know that because lace fronts are not clockable if you do it right. Because who started the lace front was RuPaul, and you could not tell what RuPaul hair started, if that was her real hair, if it was growing out her head or what. But now since lace fronts have taken off, then everybody want to have a lace front. So therefore, if this is what everybody is demanding, and then they're trying to supply, the people what they're demanding. So it's just
but at the end of the day, what
always
happens when you oversupply?
But
what happens? The quality always diminishes.
Right, but
so that's where we are now. We've already got there. Things are happening so rapidly now. We get there before there's an opportunity for you to realize there's a problem. So now we're working in the aftermath, and I can't wait to talk to Barry Fletcher. So we got Barry Fletcher getting ready to call in, and we're going to be talking about this book that he has, Why Black Women Are Losing Their Hair. And this is, let me see if I can get that on the screen well. This is a hair Bible. This has been my hair Bible. I've had this book, and I was involved in when he was writing this book, and it was so necessary. And this was over 10 years ago that Barry wrote this book, and it is still the #1 selling hair book in the land. And it's just a shame like that we're going to go into hair restoration. We're going to have to go into hair restoration in order to get back, because all of these women with these lace fronts, with these weaves, are going bald. I'm sorry. I don't know one yet. I saw this chick yesterday at the dollar store that was like, I don't know if I'm going to get me some braids or if I'm going to get me a weave, because you know I got to go to Florida.
What happened to the girl I sent you? Remember she was saying her hair was thinning out. What was she about to go do? Because they just don't know. Remember she's going to go get her some braids. DeAndre.
Right.
She's going to go get her some braids. I was like, no.
Go see a professional. But professionals are so rare and hard to find now because they're not the Derek Jays of the world. I don't consider Derek J a hair professional. I consider him a hairstylist, which is I consider the difference between a stylist and a designer. So you know when you have a designer who designs clothes, they don't style. They're not dressing you. They're not putting these clothes on you. This is what they do. These designers, this is what they do. As a stylist, you put clothes on people, you know, and that's the same thing I feel about it between being the difference between a hairstylist and a hair designer. A hair designer can actually tell you case specific what is best, what is necessary for you, and not just put a style on your head, put a style on your face. And so, you know, I'm here and I'm willing to draw the line. I have no fear of drawing the line and being clear. And this is Barry's book. And if you're interested in getting this book normally is $50 if you want to get one today. And this is not just for hair professionals. This is for consumers and all alike. You can get this book. It's $25 just for my show, because that's what I do. So if you're interested in learning about why, and you know, as you get older, there are things that happen, you know, besides the stuff that is self-willed when you're actually taking your hair out with different products, with different techniques, with this weave, with the, you know, it's causing the demise. And if you want to remain in the beautiful circle, I suggest.
But I've said that when they came out with
get on the bandwagon and boycott the foolishness quick.
When they came out with the bonding glue, I knew that wasn't helpful for your hair. Because with the bonding glue, you gluing this to your hair.
Yeah.
So when you go to take it out, it's pulling your hair
straight out from the scalp.
And I said the same thing about hair gel. Hair gel is the same thing. It's breaking your hair. It's thinning your hair and it's breaking your hair. So it's just like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
What are they going to do when it comes to hair?
You're going to find a hair professional. And unfortunately, it's become a challenge for us to find hair professionals because there are few of us left. And so I'm willing, and I'm in a position. I hope all my hair professionals that find your way to the Barnum Brothers show, find your way to Barry Fletcher's booth. I'll be there on Sunday and Monday at the booth for the hair show. And Barnum Brothers show this weekend. I'll be there on Sunday and Monday at Barry Fletcher's booth. We'll talk about it. We can set you up with some classes. And you know, unfortunately, a lot of the old school stylists, they just bowed out and went on home. They
but tell me this: do you know of any hair professionals? So you call them the hair professionals that have, you know,
that I consider hair professionals. There's a network of us. There's a small network of.
Are some of them doing the weaves and stuff?
They do. They are, because they're trying to survive. And in order for them to survive, it's been necessary for them to do that. In order to survive, they've had to go in and participate. Barry does custom wig placements. And he charges up the yin yang for them, but it's worth it because he customizes them and he gives, he makes it what is great and custom for his clients. It's like if you don't get, and I don't not do hair weave. I don't not do, different techniques and different things like that. I just have not gotten to the place that that's all I will do. Or I've abandoned, my professionalism and the things that I do and the things that I'm passionate about, which is beautiful women, beautiful hair, beautiful skin. I'm more centered on that than anything else. So for me, I am just hell bent on keeping some hair on some heads, and I'm passionate about that, and I don't care. And and I have people who complain about their hair growing so fast, and that's one of the, I'm like, one time. So I think we have Barry on the phone, on the line, and I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. So if y'all have any questions for Barry while he's going to be with us, y'all hit me up on the chat line real quick. Hi, Barry. How are you?
Hello, Lisa. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for calling in today.
Oh, well, congratulations on your fabulous show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You hear us going in today, honey. We having a big powwow about healthy hair and how in the world we get to where we are and how we going to get back from this place.
Yeah, really.
I know. So we have your book, the cover of the book actually on the screen right now, Why Black Women Are Losing Their Hair. And I gave them a quick, a quick thought about how long this book has been out and how it's still the #1 selling hair book. And it's my hair Bible. So I'm going to give you a second to talk about that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that book is, that's my first baby.
Mm-hmm.
and it has saved the lives of many black women around the country, around the world, actually. And, it hasn't been duplicated because really a book like that can't be written by one person. So I went out and commissioned, different doctors, 10 different doctors, dermatologists, trichologists, naturopathic doctors, nutritionists, to write chapters in the book so that it became a complete guide. And when I say guide, we not only recognize the problem, but we tell you what to do about it.
Right.
So it's a must-read for, a coffee table for every black family in the country, actually for, any family, because the information will cross racial barriers.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we talked about the fact that I'm letting it go today for $25. This book is normally $50. And so anybody that's calling and chatting in, I just want to make sure it was all right that I do that.
Yeah,
I employed myself. I employed it. Somebody in the chat room is talking about alopecia. What about women who suffer from alopecia? And there's a chapter in the book, and you can talk about that if you want to, Barry, about alopecia and some of the common causes.
Yeah, well, alopecia, that's a big study, and I think dermatologists around the country are getting together as we speak and trying to find out, get to the bottom of what really causes this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it varies in different families. There's something, it's a malady that we haven't really put our hand on in terms of what causes it. I only understand that some of it is it's hereditary and genetic, and sometimes from the medication that you consume.
Right, and hormonal.
Hormonal.
Mm-hmm.
And we always add stress in there.
Right.
And sort of the stress is the thing that carries you overboard.
Right.
It's like if you have some ailment going on and you stress out about it, that's what really brings it on.
Right.
That's probably why it's hard to put the finger on it. And some of it's like the red blood cells fighting the white blood cells in your system. They don't know who's the enemy there, so they're fighting each other, and then you end up with spots that sometimes go away in 2 months, and other times you need to see a dermatologist or a doctor. That's why I suggest that stylists around the country get a beauty coalition. People that they refer their clients to when it's over their head. A good dermatologist, a good medical doctor.
Right.
With a high degree of knowledge about hair and the scalp, of course, and so that we refer them people, they refer us people, and you keep it moving. I would even go as far as a dietitian and a personal trainer, and people that you can kind of network with,
right,
that help people be whole, because everybody's trying to live their best life, so they depend on us.
Exactly. That's so true, that we talk about how beautiful people, all of those are beauty essentials, in the world of being beautiful. And it's so interesting that you say that, Barry, because one of the things that I say to clients all the time, and I haven't taken new clients in a while, but every now and again I do. And when I do, it's usually someone who's had a problem or some issue or some concern, and they've, got to witness something that, some of the clients that I have, and one of the things that I say, the first sign that there's something going wrong with your body, either health-wise, stress, hormonally, whatever the case may be, is a change in your hair. And so it's one of the things that we have to be concerned about as professionals and as well as consumers. And I think this book is invaluable for the consumer for that reason, because it gives you a basis or something to kind of to go to. People, I was talking about one of my clients who is the queen of she is the queen of YouTube. She go to YouTube for everything. And I'm like, girl, if you don't stop going on YouTube to figure out your life's problems and talk to some people that you know, you have a network of people in your life, you have things that are available that are in your real life, you know. And so she said that she put an egg on her hair, and she was like, they didn't tell me not to rinse the egg out with hot water. So Patrice done cooked the egg in her hair.
Oh, Patrice.
I thought I would die. I was like, if you don't get your witching kitchen self up out of there and get in the hair salon.
Yeah. You know, one thing about the book, it does have a lot of home remedies.
It does. It does.
And, you know, so that you can concoct yourself. But
right.
These have been tried and are true.
Exactly.
So,
and they're coming from a professional, someone, this is what you do. And, you know, I say all the time, I don't go to my dermatologist and tell her what to do. Like, she knows exactly, that's her job. I don't go to the engineer's office and tell the engineer how to do his job. That's what they do. I appreciate that.
Right.
And so as a professional, we want to, you know, kind of raise some awareness. And so I know that you're going to be doing a class at the Bonner Brothers. I think it's on Saturday.
Yes,
for Bonner Brothers.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Called Mo Better Marketing.
Okay, Mo Better Marketing. Gotcha. And that's so interesting because Miss Sophia was just talking about that. Like,
how better. I meant Mo Money Marketing.
Mo Money. Okay. But it's about marketing for the hair salon.
Yeah.
Okay.
How to gain 250 clients in a week.
Oh, wow.
250 new clients in a week. That's
all right. I think they better get qualified before they get new clients. So we're starting actually a beauty education, a professional education forum for beauty professionals that need that level of education, that need to kind of, you know, elevate themselves, because, you know, the industry has kind of been, we were talking about this whole weave phenom and how it has really kind of destroyed the level of professionalism in our industry, and we need to take it back. And we've been talking, you and I have been talking about that for years. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. Matter of fact, I am working on an article about the wigs, wigs in the workplace. Because I think that, you know, if you get a professional wig, one that allows your scalp to breathe,
right,
that you can take on and off, you actually do your scalp and hair a lot more justice,
right,
and it's a good segue out of, or to grow your hair out, or to change the texture of it. But I think that like you said, we've kind of got out of control with the weave, and it's going to be kind of tough to rein folks back in until they experience the depilatory effect of it being in too long.
Right.
Because eventually it will eat at your length and your density and.
We just showed a picture of Iman that has a hairline that's a Susan Taylor hairline now, and I'm like, sisters, like, once that happens, it's not a lot that we can do as professionals to regenerate that follicle once it's gone. And so what we want to do is raise awareness, and we want to continue to educate. And I know that it's been a long time. I know you've been in this industry for quite some time, and I call you one of my old heads in the industry who's been doing this for a very long time. And the number of professionals and entertainers that you have done. Eartha Kitt is dead and gone now, but I remember your stories about doing Eartha Kitt's hair, and, you know, and that level of professionalism. And you were one of the few that has survived this industry and that is still, you know, going hard. And it's a lot. It's challenging. And so we want to kind of get an undertaking of young people that are interested in this industry, that are interested in it for the betterment and for the long haul, you know, to make an investment in this industry and to make an investment in their education, I think is necessary.
I tell you, and the consumers deserve that.
They do.
I feel sorry for some of them that go into salons these days and get their hair destroyed unwittingly, you know, because these naive practitioners will not take the time to learn the true essence of what it is necessary to know to become or consider yourself a professional cosmetological entrepreneur.
Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah. This is a great industry. I mean, it offers a lot of avenues there in terms of the directions you could, choose to go in.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's one that we don't have to worry about. You know, getting laid off, computers taking over our job, racism, you know, somebody holding you back. It's really your attitude will determine your altitude. You
Absolutely.
go as far as you want to go. So I've always been inspired by an art-based industry or career, and it's been good to me. But I wonder and I worry about its future, especially the black beauty industry. So I think you're doing a great thing with your show, bringing awareness, you know, around the country to people who really need to hear someone who has some success story and great knowledge about the industry in general. So I applaud your efforts.
Thank you.
You know, and I have great deal of respect for you, as you know.
Right. Right, and I appreciate that. And you know, I will support you till we lay down in the grave. So that's my partner in crime. That's my partner.
Yeah, I think we got over 20 years in already.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I don't ever lose my enthusiasm.
What's the catch?
You know,
I'm Barry from Detroit. I come with the car.
and so. I thought we had some interference for a second. But yeah, I just want to thank you, Barry, for calling in. And everybody that's going to be at the Bonner Brothers this weekend, please stop by the booth. I'm not sure what the booth number is going to be.
Yeah, we're at 213.
213. All right. So we'll be at booth 213.
What's the booth number?
213.
Child, that's I'm going to play for pick 3 today.
Yeah, 213.
213.
Yeah, class is on Saturday. I think it starts at 2:30 to 4, something like that.
Okay. So you know I won't be there Saturday because I'm gonna be at the All-Star game in Houston because you know Bonner Brothers is always doing All-Star weekend. But I will be. I know I'll be flying back in first thing Sunday morning, Janelle and I, and we will. I'll be coming straight from the airport to the to booth 213, and so we'll be doing some things too on Monday. So I'll be there on Sunday and Monday. So I look forward to seeing you. You guys.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Safe travels to you as well. And I love you guys much. Tell Mike, y'all be careful. And I'll see y'all this weekend.
Right. Yeah, and thank you for the shout out. I appreciate you keeping the book alive.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. All right, Barry. Love you. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Bless you.
Okay.
Bye now.
All right, everybody. What a great show that we had today. So we will continue this conversation for everybody that's going to be in Houston this weekend. Just one quick second. I just got to tell y'all where I'm going to be.
Yeah, before you
Last
tell
night,
them,
a DJ saved my life.
I was just listening to you and Barry, and I was sitting up here thinking, you and Barry, y'all have a fight on y'all hand.
We
trying
do.
to get people back to the hairstyle.
We
It's
do.
just like, I was comparing it to the music. It's just like, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, this hip-hop and all that and blase. When we go get back to like,
real music.
the OJs and Gladys Knight and the Pips and all that, it's just like, we still have that music, but that's not what the people want.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you have
But
to
they
give
don't
the
know
people
that they
what
want it. Something else has been dangled in front of them
Right,
that
and
look
then
like,
they-
ooh, you should try this.
And they tried it and they liked it. So it's just like, for now,
Dangling.
y'all going trying to, you know, do this healthy thing. This
But
not healthy
but
for you.
because we have been grounded in it so long, I'm not trying to get back in the business. I'm in the business. I'm there. Like my feet have been grounded in this industry, and so I'm not trying to wade my way back in. Much like artists who are trying to rebuild R&B or trying to reinvent something, we're not trying to reinvent anything. It still exists for us, and there are people that appreciate and that have a valuation for what we do, and so we're just trying to broaden that beyond the scope that we have. And so we see a need, we see the value in it, and you know, there's been it's recession proof. It's been Barry done tried to retire, and they was like, no, but who else is gonna take care of our hair? He had to come out of retirement and start back doing hair. And so, you know, it's gonna be a tough ride. But because of the passion that we have, the education, it will flow, I think, and I look forward to it. It's just about taking the first step.
Right, but understand that the moment my hair starts falling out, it's like, okay, I need to go see somebody.
Yeah.
The moment I'm not looking, because it's a vanity thing.
Exactly.
For some people. For me, it's not vanity. I've cut all my hair off. It's been a short.
Yeah, but you ain't been bald-headed with alopecia and patches.
Right, but I'm just saying, for me, it's not vanity. It's me. I just want my hair to be healthy and look nice with hair or without hair. It just needs to be nice.
But even with Barry, you know, like you say, he wrote the book 10 years ago, so he's been fighting this fight for 10 years.
Yeah, but it's still the #1 selling book. Like he will sell out of books again at the Bonner Brothers show.
Yeah, but but the thing is, what I'm saying is just like he been fighting the fight 10 years, and then it's just like the weave industry and the fake
Came
hair,
along
the
anyway.
and all that.
But you know, it's been a process. It went from the process of the braids and the micros to, you know, the relaxers were, you know, very popular at one time, and then it went into the braids, and people were growing their hair out with the braids, and then they grew their hair out, and then they got a weave, and now they're going from the weave to the wig. It's going, everything is coming full circle. There's nothing left after this wig. Like after the wig, ain't nothing left.
Oh, they're gonna create something else, Lisa. They're gonna create something else.
They do. I'm bound out.
We had wigs, and then we ain't think we were
But
gonna
yeah,
get
but
nothing
when we
else.
wore
Then they
wigs
came up
back
with
in the
lace
day, you
fronts.
did a wig because you just didn't feel like styling your hair, because you styled it on a wig block and then put it on your head. Exactly, and you just kind of.
Then a relaxer just blow out and go out.
Right,
you know?
right.
You wore a wig 'cause you ain't
But the
like
reason for wigs before ain't the same reason that we wearing wigs now.
Right, and they finna create something else.
I don't know.
them Asians are-
I was about to
They
say,
gonna
you know, they
create
see a
something else,
problem, they're gonna
trust.
find an answer. You're right.
Come up with something else.
But yeah, we're gonna get out of here, you guys. Thank you everybody who was in the chat line, and we had a great conversation today. I appreciate everybody for following and for supporting Trade Secrets with Lisa Pope. You can follow me on Twitter at Lisa Pope, one word, Lisa Pope, the number 1, WORD. My Facebook, be my friend, or actually like my page, which is Oops Lisa Pope, LLC, OOPS, LISAPOPE, and my Instagram is also Lisa Pope. The number 1 word is my Instagram. So y'all check me out. I'm being Houston this weekend. We're gonna be there's gonna be a day party that's gonna be hosted by Kevin Hart. And I don't really think Kevin Hart is that funny, but he better impress me if I see him this weekend, because I am not a big Kevin Hart fan. But on let's see.
You hate.
Oh yeah, I'm hating. On Saturday, it's a
Leave
day
him
party that's going to be at the Hess Private Members Club. So my boy DJ Trauma is going to be DJing there. So I will be with the DJ. Y'all check it out. And also on the 16th, it's going to be, I'm excited about this. It's going to be the Kingpin Celebrity Bowling Challenge, which is going to be fabulous. And Lala Anthony are going to be hosting this event. And it's going to be at the 300 Bowling Alley in Houston, Texas. So y'all check me out if y'all going to be in Houston for All-Star Weekend. The viewers, you can also get the book. Go to my page, to my Facebook page, like my page, and inbox me if you're interested in getting the book. The book, Why Black Women Are Losing Their Hair. Oops, Lisa Pope, LLC is my Facebook page. Like my page, inbox me, and let me know what you think if you're interested in purchasing one. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the Bonner Brothers show this weekend, too. Y'all come check me out. All right.
I'll just get this book you have on the desk, babe. My $25.
This one, oh, and it's got my name on it. Signed to me.